This podcast is a part of the Royal We Network.
Spit on me.
Unfortunately, man, we ran out of coffee.
Oh, we did? That's why we're not drinking any.
No, yeah. Well, that's why when I got you a coffee,
Oh, yeah.
I feel okay.
I feel good. I'm feeling pretty goofy, I think.
You do?
Yeah, I feel goofier than my physical form has let on over the past hour.
Your physical form is pretty goofy, though.
Oh, yeah, but my mind, the unseen mind, is goofier still.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, I got a raw batch of grease.
A raw one.
Have we, I don't think we haven't done a couple things. We
haven't done a lot of things.
We haven't really touched upon goof grease in a long time.
Right.
We reference this thing called goof grease. We always say, well, we take headlines and we read the articles. Mm-hmm. We don't read the articles. We do headlines, and we talk about this thing called goof grease. And it's basically just like the insanity, the weirdness
that I think is just inherently in the universe. It's whenever the universe just gives you something so ridiculously off the wall and stupid that it doesn't seem real.
The perfect was last week's that hypnotist, Samsung partnering up with a hypnotist to trick people.
Sweden. Right. You wouldn't think to make that up.
Like, if you put that in a movie,
people go, that's unbelievable. That's,
right? Or Fabio getting hit. The classic example is Fabio getting hit in the face by a bird when he was on the first person to be on this roller coaster.
Right. Because it's just a perfect storm of nonsense. And you're like, it was Fabio, and they were making a big deal of him riding this roller coaster for the premiere of it. And then
break his nose.
And a fucking goose hits him in the face and ruins the whole thing. It's like, you can't, a butterfly flapped its wings in Peking.
Right.
And Fabio gets hit in the face by a goose.
Which is the search. Everyone, this is the search for the grease. It's the goof grease.
Yeah.
I think our Patreon feed is called Goof Grease, right?
Don't you think? Yeah. We're making goof. Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys give us $5, you get access to all those episodes that are in there. But that's not really here nor there. I'm Sam.
I'm Nate.
Welcome to another episode of The Royal We.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I say, I'm Sam.
I'm Nate.
Okay.
What?
I messed up the order. So if you guys are listening for the first time, what we normally do is we take headlines. We do not read the articles.
Yeah.
And we have conjecture-based comedy podcast conversations about them.
Yep.
This is a comedy podcast.
This is.
I always feel it's funny that we remind people that.
Yeah. This is supposed to be funny.
Guys, you're going to laugh.
You're going to cry.
Impending. Are they? Has anyone?
From laughter.
Oh, well. I hope we don't touch anyone. To tears. This is gonna. Well, you want to get into it?
Yeah.
You guys want to send us headlines? You guys can at Royal WeCast on Twitter or royalwecast@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. And you guys can also send us a sound effect. Nate, you're gonna find one this week.
I'll probably find this one.
All right.
You just want to have to find one. I put like an Arnold Schwarzenegger quote or something in. I'm just like, fuck it. I'm not spending any time on this.
We'll kill the dinosaurs.
The Ice Age.
Let's just make a sound effect right now.
Okay.
We can just make one, and then you don't have to go look for one.
Okay.
So you do something, and I'll react to it, and that'll be the sound effect.
Crawdads. Okay, that's it.
All right.
I'll slap some echo on it.
Dude, make that unrecognizable through effect.
Just make it wet. Just make it as wet.
Just slap every effect you can do on it.
Okay.
Make it wet.
Make it wet.
Make that sound very wet.
Oh, freaking wet.
There it is.
Okay.
All right. We like to have fun here, folks.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, let's get into a little bit of the news. Here's one for the holidays.
Oh.
We're here just a little bit after, a little post Christmas, but pre-New Year's. Santa is an overweight binge drinker at risk of mental health problems, warn doctors.
Okay. Apparently the headline should have been, doctors run out of things to do.
Yeah, nothing on their itinerary.
When's he binge drinking? How has he been? When's it ever been said that Santa's a binge drinker?
Binge drinker, yeah. When is he drinking anything? Eggnog?
He maybe drinks binge drinks egg, but that's not.
I had eggnog for the first time yesterday.
Really?
2 days ago.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Where did it have booze in it?
No.
See, I don't know. Eggnog's one of those things I can take or leave it. Like, I like it, the idea of it, I think, and then I take like one drink and I'm like, yeah, it's all right. Then I take another drink and I'm like, nah, I'm done.
It's kind
with
of
that.
insanely sweet.
Yeah, it's just like thick and sweet.
I would like it if it was a little less sweet. I like the thick.
Mm-hmm.
Thick. I like the thick.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave the sweet.
Yeah. Okay.
He's at a risk of mental health problems. Well, why are doctors? Have you ever seen this? Like top 10 fictional characters you'd want to fuck. Like who?
I have not seen that. I guarantee it's probably a Watch Mojo thing though.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like people who psychoanalyze characters from books and stuff.
Yeah. I think. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I don't know.
What? I'm going to say probably doctors didn't say this. If I was going to go down a limb, if we were to click this article, a doctor maybe.
And it was probably set up like, okay, well, since it's the holiday season, we've been sitting here talking about your current research on the latest trends in cancer research.
Yes,
but
yes.
It was great talking with you today. But before we go, let's since it's the holiday season, what do you think? Let's say that if Santa Claus was a real person,
Santa is an overweight binge drinker at the risk of mental health issues.
What, did he kill your family? Why did you react? The way we played it, totally. I was going to say, like the guy, like the interviewer, kind of set him up. Yeah. It was like, do you think he probably, being with the stress of the holidays and everything, you think that has to put a lot of probably weight on him mentally? And then the doctor would say something like, "Oh yeah, probably. With the stress of having to make the toys for the entire world and keep track. He's got a list and he has to check it twice. Like it shows some compulsive tendencies. But so he's just reacting to that." I don't know if a doctor just showed up and was like, "Santa Claus!" like yelling like Hitler.
It's a press conference.
Again.
Santa is overweight. Thank you. Like, what? Yeah.
Okay. Rock the shit out of a big furry red suit.
Yeah. I was almost Santa, and I think I may even still be Santa.
Oh, in the school thing. I don't know.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. You binge drinking blind fool.
Oh.
Ho ho.
Here's another one in holiday news.
Okay.
Cadavers in the Ballroom.
What? That sounds like a great band name.
Oh, damn.
Cadavers in the Ballroom.
The doctors practice their craft at U.S. hotels. Now, there are dead bodies at hotels and what? Why any of this? Doctors practice their craft at U.S. hotels. So I imagine because they have these big rooms and they bring in dead bodies, but that doesn't seem like a sterile environment or like a medical.
Right. I mean, they'd have to tarp the whole place.
And why? Because facilities.
Yeah, are the facilities full and doctors need... I don't know.
Happened in the U.S. Now, let me give...
Because there's that body ranch.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
They let them rot and then
forensics people come there to study.
And they see how long and the effects of being out in the wilderness and like if submerged in water.
Right. And yeah.
So they can learn.
Yeah.
So they can learn
the stages. So they can go to this place and have to like analyze and be like, how long do you think this guy was dead? And they're like, nope, actually he's been here 6 months.
I've always wanted to get a big bottle of luminol. You know that stuff that they spray in CSI?
Oh yeah.
Just like spray everything and
just then blacklight it.
Yeah, be like, what's going on? But like you ever see people who always like, oh, whenever I go to a hotel, I always bring my blacklight with me because I want to see. I don't want to see. Ignorance
is bliss.
100%.
Yeah. Is the bed soft? I don't care if you shine a blacklight on a hotel bed, it's probably going to look like a Jackson Pollock painting.
Do sperm glow? I've heard it. Is it true?
With luminol and blacklight, yeah.
You have to luminol at first?
I thought so. I don't know if just a blacklight works. I don't know. I may be wrong. Maybe it just glows under blacklight. Sperms is down the party.
Can we? I mean, there's nothing saying we can't look that up.
Right. That was a topic we invented.
Does semen glow? Ooh, a lot of.
Does semen glow?
Here's if I just type in "does semen," Google says, "Does semen smell? Does semen have calories? Does semen stain? Does semen have protein? Does semen whiten teeth?"
I've heard that one.
The last one?
Yeah.
Who's black? I mean, who's?
I'm just saying
for that.
I'm just saying I've heard it.
I've perpetuated it. The semen. What was the question? What were we talking about?
Glow
under a black light. The same holds for many organic substances and most bodily fluids, including sweat, saliva, and urine, will shine when you put them under an ultraviolet black light. Semen happens to glow the brightest, however. Okay, but the thing is, like, if you shined on my bed, there's a bunch of sweat.
It'll be the bright, telltale signs of...
But I'm not blasting off onto my sheets.
Right.
I guess at hotels people are.
Probably.
People don't care.
But it probably gets around. I mean, you guys are having a romp around in the sack. It's going to get places.
Every sperm is sacred.
Don't just spill it upon the ground.
Upon the linens?
Stain the linens with thine holy seed.
The seed is strong.
Okay.
Well, we learned about that.
It does, everybody. Crack out the black lights. Well, I told you about years ago, I was like, it's like the first apartment I ever had after I moved out. Story time with Nate.
Oh, all right.
We went to the laundromat and we came back and my roommate at the time, he was like a big hippie. He was like, man, I got these black lights. Let's just put them in the living room. We're like, okay, cool. So we just like put all these black lights in the living room. We just had a big black light party. Well, we came back from doing laundry one day and I noticed like my hands were like glowing. I was like, what is this? And it was a detergent.
Oh, wow.
And it was glowing almost semen-like. So we're like, oh, this is cool. I was like, man, what we should do? And we said, well, let's take detergent, like write stuff on the walls and put handprints all over the walls.
You at an apartment you were renting.
Yeah. But our
How
idea,
old were you?
like 18.
God damn.
And the idea was, it's invisible. You can only see it under black light.
And also, it's soap.
Yeah, it'll be fine. So we like wrote song lyrics and like stamped our handprints all over the wall and like drew stuff.
It especially smelled nice.
Yeah, it did. It smelled like fresh semen-free linens. And when people would come over and we'd turn the black lights on, it was like, oh man, it's crazy because like the whole walls were covered. It was a good idea, but about 3 or 4 months later, because it was soap, it was sticky on the wall and it just collected the dust and stuff that was in the air. So it became to where you could just clearly see it in the light of day. Like it wasn't a thing anymore. You kind of walked in and was like, what's all over the walls? And our landlord came up one day because we were playing classical music super loud and I was destroying an alarm clock with a Bowie knife. The same Pakistani that I said that I got from that I felt bad for cutting that turtle.
Oh my god.
So I was in the middle of smashing up an old alarm clock.
It's Fortuna, if I recall.
Yeah, it was all Fortuna.
Yeah.
The landlord just comes in the door. He's this giant, like, woolly booger of a man. And he just came in and was like, what in the hell? And we're
What's
like,
on the walls?
and he's like, turn it down, turn it off. So I was like, oh, so I turned it off. Yeah, and every time he was getting ready to leave, he's like, what's all over the walls? And we're like, oh, it's soap. We thought it would look cool.
Did it ruin the paint or anything?
Oh, we spent like the 2 whole days before we moved out scrubbing the walls.
Was it hard to get off?
Yeah. It was just like dried soap on the wall.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was. Anyway, there's my story. About something that glowed.
This dominatrix makes men mine cryptocurrency for her, and she now has over $1 million.
Wow.
Incredible. I love that.
That is great.
I love that. I love the idea that as a dominatrix, you could just start being, like, you could be like, file my taxes.
Right.
You know, like,
Because the dude is into the he's like, man.
fold my laundry.
Yeah. He's
Walk
like,
my dog.
yes, mistress.
Right?
Yeah.
Why was that Liam Neeson?
It was Liam. Yeah.
Yes, mistress.
I would swim countless fathoms for you.
I think I've told this in the podcast before. A bunch of my friends went to like a dominatrix dungeon and didn't invite me. And I was like,
Yeah, we talked about
I was
that
totally
not too
gonna be-
long ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a month or 2 ago.
I love the idea of that's just someone who's making it work. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
have a business being sexy and whipping people, and they're like, you know what?
I'm going to get some shit done.
I'm gonna get paid.
Yeah.
Because I bet you're also being paid to be a dominatrix.
Right, so it's a double thing.
You know?
Yeah.
Diversify my portfolio.
Yeah.
Yes, mistress.
Oh man, that'd be an interesting short story. Imagine if this.
Liam Neeson and...
No. Just imagine if a whole town is being run by a dominatrix, but no one knows it.
I bet that's happened.
Like a whole town.
Yeah, I bet it happened somewhere in like the Czech Republic in like the 1600s.
Okay. They had dominatrixes back then, you think?
Versions. They were just called town matriarchs.
But everyone's getting a little on the side. Do you ever get to fuck the dominatrix? No.
Usually
right?
no.
You
no.
never get to fuck them.
I mean, some of them I think that's their thing that's part of it, but most of them no.
You
It's
say
not.
it's like if you listen.
Yeah, but
if you're a good boy.
Usually the thing is that that's not the point of it.
I thought that was the point.
No.
They're stringing along.
Oh, that is the point. Yeah.
But there's no
The fucking isn't really the point. Yeah, it's the being controlling part.
So what I'm saying is like you've got a whole team of like civic servants and accountants and a whole industry, like a whole civilization, like a whole town's worth of people that are all just doing their jobs and working
And paying
to appease the dominatrix that's running them.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's just what a queen is, right?
Well, does everyone want to fuck the queen? And she's not like
I don't think everybody. I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm saying. I think at some point in history, in the Czech Republic in the 1600s, maybe.
I mean, yeah,
And say she's a vampire.
but she let's add that to the mix.
That's
Just
okay.
a real sexy vampire with rockin' tits. I'm adding that.
Who's the queen?
But I bet you it's got to be on the DL because if everyone knows that she's fucking with everyone,
Yeah, someone's gonna get
So
jealous.
it's got to be real under the table of like,
That'd be a good HBO series.
let's write it.
What would it be called?
Waterworld 2.
Waterworld 2. Nothing is also still not free.
Let's make Waterworld 2 about the 1600s. Oh, let's do a prequel. Let's do a prequel to Waterworld. This is
Dirt World. Land Planet.
We'll call it Land Planet, okay? But it's about in the 1600s, which people wouldn't see that coming. 1600s, it's about a dominatrix that runs this town, and then somehow she fucks up so bad that the planet gets flooded.
Hundreds of years later.
It literally has nothing to do with Waterworld until like the last 10 minutes of the movie. Let's make it 3 hours long. Let's put some dance numbers in the middle of it.
Yeah, like Krish style it.
Yeah, let's contact Bollywood, get them on the phone.
We need one of those songs that goes. Let me whip you with my wheel. Waterworld. Electric Boogaloo.
Rise of the Lion.
Yeah. Waterworld 2, Rise of the Lycans.
Nothing's free in Waterworld 2. We really should
Except the danger.
I like the idea of writing a screenplay for Waterworld. Calling it Waterworld 2. It having nothing to do with Waterworld.
We bounced around the idea. Well, I guess we should tell people that.
We watched Waterworld.
Yeah,
recently.
you'd never seen Waterworld before.
That movie holds up. Zach gets angry about it, but like it holds up.
It's not as bad as people let it on to be.
I mean, you loses your interest there in the middle a little
Yeah,
bit.
the action scenes are the most boring part of that movie.
Yeah.
Anytime the action was on, we were just like all on our phones.
It's interesting. Yeah, exactly. It's an interesting world. I mean, it's just Mad Max on water.
That's all it is.
It's 100% what it is. But
And Dennis Hopper's great as the bad guy.
And they're all such good friends.
He's going to have to be rescuing what's left of you in a goddamn jar.
Guys, everyone go. It's on Netflix. Watch Waterworld.
I think you're the only person that hasn't seen it.
In the world?
I
You think?
no.
Wanted never seen it. She gave up.
Quick.
About an hour in, was like,
Nope.
she gave it a good try.
Yep. And then she just gave it a hard no and just walked out of the
And then I
room.
came in here. She was watching Arrival. I went, fair.
Okay. Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
I mean, stack those two movies up.
I don't know. I don't know.
Waterworld's not going to come out on top. If there was like a round robin of movies, Waterworld's not going to win the matchup very often.
Yeah, Waterworld's the guy that was sent with the main characters to go down to a planet on Star Trek that is not making. It's like, oh, Waterworld's not coming back from Slime Planet.
I feel
they
like
sent Spock and Kirk and Waterworld.
if you edited Waterworld, you took a good half an hour out of that movie and really tightened it up. I think it would. I think it would stand on its feet.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If there was a solid almost 5 minutes of a slow motion swimming scene with him and that girl. I'm like, you could have cut that down to like a minute, which is all you really need for slow motion. And so if you do that, you take those other 4 minutes, which is a minute is a
take 'em
page
away.
of dialogue, basically. Or having to
Exposition of the world.
explain some other things.
Yeah, because he has gills and never explain why. Spoilers for Waterworld.
Well, they tell you that in the first like 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
But then there's also like they all value paper for some reason, like books and images from the old world, but they don't ever explain why, or dirt. There's nothing that does for them other than it just reminds them of the old world.
Right.
But it's hundreds of years, so like they've never experienced.
Well, they can grow stuff in dirt. They can grow the plants and shit in dirt, but the paper doesn't make any sense.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're just in here talking
Yeah.
about the problems with Waterworld. I like it.
This episode brought to you by Waterworld.
Brought to you by Kevin Costner. The funniest thing about the Waterworld is they got $100 million to make it.
In 1995 money?
1994 and 93. And then it went over its budget and they gave them another $100 million.
Yeah.
And the movie only made 85. I bet it's probably made its money back by now.
In action figures.
I would have a Kevin Costner action figure next to my K2SO. It's
Yeah.
back here hiding behind my computer.
The Mariner.
In Waterworld news,
Okay.
loud orgies of Mexican fish could deafen dolphins, says scientists.
Holy shit.
Loud orgies of Mexican fish.
I've always said Mexicans were fun to drink with. Because they get really loud.
Okay.
That's a lot of fun. I guess the fish do the same.
When they're fucking. Loud orgies of Mexican fish. Hey, fish fuck?
I didn't know there were Mexican fish.
I mean, they're fish off the coast of Mexico, I'm sure.
But does that make them Mexican? Like an American fish? If a fish is in a lake in America, it's an American fish. If you took it to Mexico and put it in, they'd be like, hey, S.A., what are you doing down here from America? S.A.
Fish.
I imagine all fish just go glub glub.
Yeah, sure. I think it's just for in terms of understanding where they who they are, not who they
Who they are.
like titling them.
I'm a fish, and I have strong cultural ties to my home country of
Like it could be
Mexico.
like the American long-breasted finch or something like that. It's not an American bird. It's just a bird that you would find in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like these are Mexican fish. It doesn't mean they drink tequila and they live in Mexico. I guess they do live in Mexico, but
They do live in Mexico.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's like the American long peck.
But apparently fish make noise when they fuck.
Yeah, I didn't know
Is
that.
it the fin slapping? Are they moaning? Are they just these screamers?
They can't moan. They don't. I don't know. I caught a fish one time that made some weird sounds when we pulled it onto the boat. It was going. We're like, put it back.
Help me. Help me. Imagine if you pull a fish out and it went, help. Because you had that story about the goat. That went,
Yeah.
help. Imagine if a fish said help. I mean, a fish is pretty alien. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people who don't eat meat, but they'll eat fish because fish are so different from us. You know?
Because they don't have fur or eyebrows or anything. I think a lot of people.
Eyebrows.
I think a lot of people don't want to eat anything with an eyebrow.
Chickens don't have eyebrows or fur.
True. Chickens are pretty alien.
But they say they could deafen dolphins, say scientists.
Maybe the dolphins told them help. Yeah, they got to be doing something in there, making some kind of noise.
Apparently, sound propagates through water more efficiently than air.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Fish are fucking. I mean, I've heard.
I really don't know anything of that. That's kind of on my list to figure out what's behind that. Because I've seen like fish, like sometimes they come to the surface and like if something spooks them and they get driven to the top, they'll like kind of crazy loud. So maybe they do that when they're fishing orgies. Why do they call it an orgy?
Imagine a bunch of it's a whole it's school on school.
A school on school action, hot fin on fin action.
Action, the action.
Action, the actioning. Action 2, the reaction.
Here's another one I found myself.
Okay.
U.S. government lifts funding ban on making lethal viruses.
What?
You can now fund the making of lethal viruses. It was banned. Like, you can't give anyone money to do that, but now you can, like...
What changed? What happened behind the scenes? It's like, yeah, we should probably let people fund lethal viruses because we don't have enough of them.
Maybe by making them, you can then understand them.
True.
But it's like, you know, that they have in a freezer somewhere, they just have diseases.
Yeah, at the CDC, it's somewhere down south, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's some big facility that.
And it can't be the only place.
And it's like they have all these things that like basically don't exist in the world anymore because we've eradicated them through vaccines and medicines and stuff. But they have the raw forms of them still.
But even if they were to get out, I imagine they must be out in the world. But because of these vaccines, they don't affect people.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure some of them got loose. It would kill a bunch of people before we did it and got them fixed
Before we
again.
caught it.
Yeah.
And put it back in the freezer.
So maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're trying. Yeah, get in there, you rascal.
You gotta wrangle them.
Yeah. Well, see, that used to be a big thing in the 80s, too, or not 80s, maybe the 90s. Just Ebola would pop up places and kill, like, thousands of people, and then it would just vanish.
Huh.
And it happened pretty regularly there for a while.
In, like, America and stuff?
No.
Africa?
It was usually in different places. It would just pop up, kill a bunch of people, Ebola outbreak, and they were like, nobody could really figure out where it came from. It would just pop up, kill a bunch of people, and like...
Leaving labs, man. I
guess.
Wake up, sheeple.
Yeah.
It's big government.
That was a theory that the government was just like releasing it on areas that were problematic. Let Ebola kill a bunch of them and then...
Why isn't there a superhero? I was just thinking about this. You know, Ant-Man is one man, can get small. Why isn't there a superhero who's many men controlled by a hive mind the size of germs? Like he's just an illness or something that goes around.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
You
just invented him.
The creeping moist.
The creeping moist. The croup.
But you never know where he's around. I guess he wouldn't. How would you talk to him?
Well, I guess he could solidify into a...
He'd be really small still. Hey.
Like Plankton from SpongeBob.
Yeah. Let's write that comic.
We'll just put him in Waterworld. He'll just be the villain in Waterworld too.
Well, we can get a band. Here we go. We can get funding. We can get funding to create him.
To make it, yeah. We want to make a superhero who's a virus.
How would that work? We don't know yet.
Here's a bunch of... Yeah. There's a bunch of money. You guys figure it out.
How do you go about... I guess you get in contact with people who are actually doing that. No. You're not getting money and then being like, okay, now I have the money. Now I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah, and I don't think that it's like you're not paying the government or wherever to... You can fund it, but they're not going to give you the virus if they do it, you know? Oh, yeah, we got a new one. It's crazy lethal. Just pull it out of the ether. Like, thanks for sending us all that money. And be like, oh, yeah, can I get that? Can I get that virus? And I'm like, no, that's not how. So you'd have just Rick's megalomaniacs walking around, rich is what I meant to say, giving money to people in exchange for deadly viruses.
That's got to be happening.
Holding the world.
Why don't we have supervillains?
We do. They're just not in public. I mean, they're doing things behind the scenes.
Pulling strings? Mm-hmm. Lizard people? Gray man?
Maybe. Or there's just people with enough money, man. Illuminati. The Masons. There's a guy sitting on an island somewhere that he owns. Surrounded by beautiful women. His yacht's in the background. Inexplicably expensive bottles of every type of drink and champagne, food, caviar from the strangest of deep sea creatures. Things that are so strange they're not edible, but he eats them because
I'm so rich I eat things you can't.
You can't. I eat things you people wouldn't even believe.
I eat things that people can't eat.
Yeah. And he's just laying on the beach and the camera zooms in on him, pulls an expensive cigar out of his mouth, blows a thick plume, pure money smoke out of his lungs.
Which then goes on to infect and murder millions.
Yeah. And then he looks directly into the camera and just says, Waterworld money, bitches.
Waterworld 2.
Waterworld 2.
All 1,694 residents of Scotland, Connecticut becoming Scottish landowners. So people who live in Scotland, Connecticut were given land or something in Scotland.
Why? Why?
Why? I don't know why. I thought that was interesting. Just the idea that they live in a place called another place's name. And they're like, you know what? Okay, you're Scottish.
Does that mean somebody in Scotland says, what are we going to do with all the land? And they're like, I don't know, find some people in America that live in a town called Scotland.
You think that?
Well, how else?
Sure.
That's not, I don't think that's that far off the rails, because otherwise, did they apply? Hey, we're a town of people who live in the town of Scotland, Connecticut. We would all like to visit Scotland. We live here because we all love Scotland. Dear Scotland.
Scotland.
And then Scotland is like, okay, well, we got a bunch of swampy, craggy marshland that nobody wants. You guys can have it.
Why? Why give it to people? We don't know. We don't even know.
Why give it to people in another country?
Name the same. I mean,
there's some fuckery going on,
and we don't. Strange.
It could be one person who owned a bunch of land and it was theirs to give away, and that's what they chose to do with it.
Imagine that.
Yeah, just be like, I'm about to die. And
that's some goof grease.
The last thing I'm going to do is give all my land.
To all people named Sam.
Yeah. My family, as they're gathered here before my deathbed, eagerly awaiting my inheritance with greasy, grubby paws. You never loved me. You never cared for me.
You were never named Sam.
So in death I spite thee. I spit at thee from beyond the grave. All your inheritance goes to Scotland, Connecticut people. And
what is going on today, man? You're all soliloquy. you keep like stepping away to face the stage and do a soliloquy.
I don't know.
Like, okay, yes.
I don't know. You're right.
Here's another one in fish news.
God, a lot of fish.
I got fish news and I got rich people news.
Both of those are falling into a theme today.
We got a theme today. Well, let's do another fish news. Some clownfish have no personality, Australian study finds.
Oh my God.
Why are people finding out if animals have personality?
This has been a big thing for about the past year.
Turns out spiders do. Turns out clownfish don't. Turns out people, some do.
Yeah, but there was a big thing. I've been like, which I changed my stance on the spider one. I called bullshit on that. I was like, there's no way. If it was, I just smacked myself with a rubber band. No, I ain't got nothing to fidget with. Pick something else up.
Spiders have personality.
Yeah, spiders.
Yeah.
Because at first I'm like, I think that's people just putting their, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're finding the ghost in the machine.
Imprint.
Like
if you're spending all day with a spider and watching how it does things.
Spending all day with a spider. What'd you do this weekend? Hung out with my spider and I determined if he had a personality or not. Turns out he does.
Hung out with Frank all weekend, man. Frank.
If I said that to the teachers tomorrow at school, like, what'd you do, man? Hey, you have a good Christmas. What'd you do? I'm like, I just hung out with my spider all day. Turns out he has a personality.
Yeah. At one point, he walked up on the side of the big rock in his tank, and then instead of going all the way to the top, and he kind of turned to the left, and then he hopped over onto a leaf. Classic Frank.
That sounds like any goddamn person talking about their cat.
Yeah.
I hate that.
It's like, it doesn't...
Oh, man, the thing about him is he really likes it when... I'm like, no one knows him.
Yeah. Well, a cat more than a spider, I would think.
Sure.
I would think. But then there's that whole thing that there's those certain spiders that they think their brains work so fast they can almost see the future or something. And I fought one of those, and he beat me twice.
What? Back up.
I did.
When you fought him?
My roommate fought him too. He beat us 3 times. I don't know if we ever killed it. I saw
you
one.
just trying to smash him?
Yeah, and it leapt around so fast that I was like, holy shit.
But he never went on the offensive, though, did he?
He jumped off the wall at one point and landed on me. He jumped onto my chest, and it freaked me out. And before I recovered, I was like, ah! And I went to like smack myself, and he leaped off and made me hit myself with a rolled up magazine. I was going pop, 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 pop like that, and I could not hit him. Finally he just went and escaped into like where the water heater was. A jumping spider. He bested me, two human men in a battle of leaps and wits.
How big was the spider?
Small.
Smaller than you've never seen.
So small. Almost infinitesimally so.
Was he real?
I don't know.
You're just like freaking out, smacking. This spider can see the future.
All right, man.
We just hear you yell that from the shower.
I was on a big peyote kick. I don't know.
Is peyote illegal?
I don't know. I've never done peyote.
Me neither. I thought we could get into like I think 2 episodes ago we did about the thing about the machine that you can like do. It makes you hallucinate.
Yeah.
I was thinking like we should do that.
That'd be fun.
We should get that machine. The did I talk about this on the show yet? We should go into one of those float tanks.
Oh, that's what I thought you were talking about.
Let's go do that.
Yeah, they're here.
They're here.
They're here. They're here.
They're queer. Get used to it.
Yep.
Well, let's do it and then talk about it on the show.
Okay.
I want Hank to go with us, but she's like, no, it's weird. I don't know why. Why is it weird about it?
I think it'd be neat.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Here's more in rich people news. Startup sells luxury doomsday kits to help the rich survive disasters in style. I love that.
I do too. Like any that's going to matter when the cogs of society screech to a halt. And you're toppled from your mighty castle, and you fall worthless into the street. Now you look up to where you once were, and even look up so to those that you once looked down upon.
Okay, man. All right. Neat soliloquy hour. I like the idea that you open. You're like, oh, the good beans,
Right?
What's in there?
Been thinking about them beans.
I have been thinking about. Well, that's Bush's.
Yeah, Bush is a guy. There's something floating around. It's this old guy. And someone took a screenshot of his Facebook.
He messaged Bush's beans.
Yeah, he messaged Bush's beans or left a comment on the Bush's beans Facebook page that said, "I've been thinking about them beans." It cracks me up every time I think about it.
I love the idea that you die and someone who's not wealthy finds the wealthy survival kit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, oh, god damn. Ooh, look at this.
Yeah.
Like things built to last that are good.
Yeah, there's a bottle of Dasani in here.
No, it wouldn't be Dasani.
No, it would be
Perrier.
Perrier.
Hell yeah. Grey Poupon, that's in there.
Oh, there'd be some Grey Poupon, some
Probably some beard wax. A monocle.
a bottle of Pellegrino.
Pellegrino.
Yeah.
Yeah. Olives.
Yeah, some Ciroc.
Oh, yeah.
The good beans.
Luxury doomsday kits. I love the idea of doomsday survival.
Yeah.
I've never been I'm not a doomsday prepper myself, but I can get behind it. I think it's interesting. Also, the development of skills that would help you. Like learn how to tie knots.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know specifically tying knots, but
Well, who was that had that joke? Tom was talking about this guy. He was a doomsday prepper. They had all this food and basically had like all this stuff and all these skills and everything, but then he was against any form of weapon.
Huh?
And it was like, man, all you're doing is growing food for the strongest guy on the street.
Right,
You know,
right.
because we've discussed that before. Like if society goes into...
We are done.
We're done.
Well,
I mean,
here...
you've got to have... But the thing
We're
is...
bigger than a lot of people here.
Yeah, but there would be a point where, I mean, you wouldn't trust anybody. People would be coming for your stuff. It would just be like you, if you had a family, it would just be all about that. You know,
Right,
it'd be
right,
like,
right.
I'm killing anybody who walks through that door.
We should buy some baseball bats.
Yeah. Some bludgeoning devices.
Just crush some nails into it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, society's not going to fall apart. I'm not going to go buy a baseball bat just to kill people in case.
Well, I mean, you could also play some baseball.
Yeah.
From time to time.
No. I have a putter.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, like, what's the most lethal thing we have in our house? It's not us.
I got some stuff.
You do, in fact. There's like your parents shipped you a box just full of knives.
Yeah. They're like, oh, well, I thought you wanted that shipped. And I was like, ugh, no, that wasn't the right box.
That's my weapon box.
That was the box of blades. That should have remained.
The box of blades. Allow me to turn to the audience. She shipped me my box of blades. Damn it, mother. That was for my return to the motherland. I was to take the box of blades.
I don't know how I don't know how they got in here.
Oh, you ruined my soliloquy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's get out of here. We've been doing this long enough. All right. Which one do you want to do? Santa's fat, cadavers in the ballroom, dominatrix, loud orgies of Mexican fish.
I kind of want to know about that, maybe.
Scotland, Connecticut, Scotland landowners.
I kind of want to know about that, too.
Clownfish, no personality.
I mean, I guess.
And then there's the luxury doomsday kit. I kind of want to know what's in there.
Me too. The sad clown. The sad clownfish. That's all that is.
Some of them don't have... Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't be... You can't expect the clownfish to be on all the time. I mean, you know.
Loud orgies of Mexican fish. I mean, I think they're probably just...
I'm with you. I want to see what's in the doomsday luxury box.
Let's play the card. Startup sells luxury doomsday kits to help the rich survive disasters in style.
Look at that packaging.
If run-of-the-mill disaster survival kits just don't cut it, and you can afford to splurge a few extra bucks on something more befitting your social status, try Preppy.
Preppy.
Ooh. A luxury doomsday kit supplier for the super rich. Oh, I should do this like for the super rich. How do you do it? Doomsday. How does he talk?
Let me see.
Film director Ryan Coleman. I can't do it the way he does it.
Luxury doomsday supplier for the super rich.
That's what it is. That's what it is. There it is. They run the business out of their downtown Los Angeles loft. The couple experienced a small earthquake, and I'm gonna not do that. In 2014, it realized they should have the supplies on hand for such emergencies. Okay, they're the most popular luxury survival kits. What's inside? What's inside? It doesn't look like anything useful.
It says,
What?
what is it going to take to get people ready for something? If it's not interesting or well designed, people are not going to engage.
They chose a utilitarian but also stylish Mason's tool bag and packed it up. I mean,
You're not going to make it.
Histor-
that looks like something you would like. That's just like a travel bag.
it doesn't really say what's in it, though. Oh, here's some stuff. Boxed water, 3 things of boxed water, some field notes, an emergency poncho. I mean, yeah,
It's Mall and
stuff.
Goat's facial moisturizer.
Yep.
That's expensive facial moisturizer.
Space blanket.
Oh my god.
There's one that's $5,000. Marvis toothpaste, Mass Brothers chocolate, Kuzmi tea, as well as more typical items such as hand crank phone charger. Hand crank phone charger?
It's used by Whoopi Goldberg, Melissa McCarthy, Zach Galifianakis,
Oh, Zach. I thought Zach was more down to earth than that.
Sofia Vergara.
I mean, everyone else on this list seems kind of like someone who would have it, but Zach Galifianakis, I mean,
You think he purchased it ironically?
he may have. I mean, whatever. If I had the money, I mean, if we had, I mean, I'd like to buy one.
$5,000 luxury essential. Yeah, Mall and Goat's toiletries.
Can we go to the website? Let's go to the website.
Yeah, but if you get by a solar flare, the phone charger, you can use that to hang yourself because that's going to be the only sweet release. Whenever you're,
Well, it was like an earthquake or something. Like if zombies
Yeah,
happen, or
I know,
if
yeah.
society completely collapses.
me and Zach had this conversation today because my mind always goes to complete global collapse. Like we were hit by, there was like a super volcano erupted and plunges the earth into darkness, or we have a solar flare hits and we're knocked back to the Stone Age. You know what I mean? That's where my mind goes. But you're right. Like, it could just be a tsunami or an earthquake or a wildfire and you're homeless for, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So then in that case, okay.
But this thing is pretty fucking sweet though. The $5,000 one has a GPS satellite messenger locator beacon with navigation, which operates on an Iridium satellite network, which that just sounds awesome. It's got a night vision scope, a solar panel, right? Pro bar meals, Datrix food, rations, and water packs, Eton FRX4 solar and hand turbine emergency radio with illumination. It's got a Leatherman, a solar pop-up lantern, a headlamp,
a caviar cooler case. Oh my god, you rich fucks.
poker and backgammon game kit. That made it into the pack.
Oh my lord.
Flask. It's got a hydroform black matte flask. It's got a bunch of like toiletries, chocolates, ultra compact full-size tent.
Then I love just rain ponchos for 2.
Yeah. Tactical paracord, canvas, and leather drop first aid kit. I mean, some of this stuff is like straight up stuff.
Some of it is, but I love that there's expensive facial moisturizer and caviar cooler kit in it.
Yeah, why do you need a caviar cooler case? Wait, is it a cooler case for caviar, or is it just brand? The name of the brand is caviar.
I'm thinking, I don't know, man. I bet it's for their caviar. Can you imagine being like, oh god, I know the world's about to end, but if I couldn't have my caviar, then just fuck it all.
Their branding is on point. I mean, it does look nice.
It does look. That looks like something you'd pick up in a video game.
It does.
You know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Their first aid kit is $65, and it's like a bunch of their own stuff, but it's...
Everybody needs a good first aid
they're
kit. Do we have a
little bit
first
onto
aid kit
something.
here? Do we have
No.
a first aid kit?
No, one thing smashed the shit out of her face with her laptop.
Right.
She was watching Netflix in bed, and her laptop just pitched and smacked right between the eyes.
Yeah.
And it cut her. Like a
we were out here
millimeter
watching-
length.
Yeah, we were watching TV and she just kept coming in and out. I was like, because normally you guys are asleep by that point. It was like 1 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
Then she came in, had this big Band-Aid between her eyes and was like, I dropped my laptop on my face. I was
She
"Ow."
like yelped when it happened, which woke me up, and I did not take it seriously. She's like, I dropped my laptop on my face, and at that point she wasn't bleeding. And I was like, go to bed. She's like, you're useless.
My other fidget thing.
Let's get out of here. This has been another episode of The Royal We. I want to thank Kishi Bashi for letting us use his song intro/pathos on the album 151A.
Yeah.
I want to thank us for this sound effect. If you guys want to send us headlines or sound effects,
Oh, it's wet.
and you I forgot that it was supposed to be wet.
So wet.
Oh, why did you make it that wet?
Ooh, freaking wet.
Next time, don't make it so wet.
Too late.
If you guys want to send us headlines.
Wet. Why'd I hit myself? I just wanted a smack sound, but
Wet.
we're actually hitting ourselves in the face right now.
Just slapping ourselves saying wet.
We're our own dominatrix.
Mine Bitcoin. Mine Bitcoin.
Yes, me. Ow, damn, dude. He's literally smacking his face. All right.
Where was I in the outro?
Who knows? On the intro.
Send us headlines or sound effects. You can at Royal WeCast on Twitter or Royal WeCast at Gmail.com.
Send us or we help you not.
I also want to thank our Patreon supporters. You guys can support us at patreon.com/TheRoyalWe. You guys get access to all our bonus content, which slides out in waves. But what's cool about it is you give us $5 and then you get all of it that's there, and then you can just stop giving us $5. And then next time there's enough that you want to give us $5, you give us $5, and then you get access to all of the stuff that's $5.
Yep. Slides out like a Mexican fish. Ole. Ole, 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 ole. It's not the moisturizer that's found in the super rich doomsday packers. They use goats.
Goats? They just use goat? The goat.
Goats. We need to get out of here because we're rambling. And
Good night, Dad.
Oh, freaking wet.